Hey everyone, welcome to the Mobile User Acquisition Show. In the Mobile User Acquisition Show, we talk about how to use mobile user acquisition strategies to grow your app quickly and capital efficiently. The Mobile User Acquisition Show is presented by me, Shamant Rao, mobile growth leader and founder and CEO of the mobile growth consulting firm Rocketship HQ. Each episode includes strategies, tips, and pointers from the leading edge of mobile user acquisition that you can use to unlock tremendous growth for your app in a sustainable and capital efficient manner.
In today's episode, we will cover the mechanics of how conversion values get incremented in SKAdNetwork. This was one of the open questions from my session at the App Promotion Summit on how to implement SKAdNetwork in a post-IDFA world. We couldn't dive into this in too much detail in the main session, so I promised to cover this in a podcast episode. Here it is. As a note, this is a 101 level episode as it delves into some fundamental concepts around conversion values because folks at the session asked for clarity on this. So if you're conversant with the fundamentals, feel free to skip this episode. As a recap, conversion value is the imputed value of a user within SKAdNetwork. It is as defined by the developer. The conversion value can be incremented 64 times, and I want today to dive into how these 64 values are encoded in SKAdNetwork in the form of the method updateConversionValue. So, these 64 values can be incremented based on a user's progression through their user journey, say from registration to first-time user experience to the first purchase to a repeat purchase. Can go from 0 to 63, depending on the different events completed in the app or different stages of a user's progression. The less obvious part is how these values are incremented in SKAdNetwork as a part of the call updateConversionValue. So this is updated not from 0 to 1 to 3 to 5 to 63, but in bits or based on the binary numeral system, which has base 2 and which only has zeros and ones as the possible digits. So to help understand, and this is where we go somewhat into the fundamentals, in our everyday number system, decimal we use base of 10, which basically means in our day-to-day we use numbers from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the binary system, we use base 2 with only 2 digits, 0 and 1, which as it happens, was used for programming computers because 0 was off and 1 was on, which is really what the computers understand on a circuit level. Anyway, for our purposes, we need to understand we have 64 conversion values from 0 to 63. We want to understand what are the binary equivalents of these numbers. Each place in the number corresponds to a power of 2, just as in the decimal system, each place corresponds to a power of 10. Starting from 10 on the right. So, as examples, if your conversion value is 0, your value in the binary system is still 0 because 0 is a binary number. It's 1 is 0 and 1. If your conversion value goes from 0 to 1, your value within the binary system still goes to 1 because 1 is a binary number as well. And that's also 1 multiplied by 2 to the power 0. Right? That's the first digit that you have. Just as it's 1 multiplied by 10 to the power 0, which is 1. Once it goes from 1 to 2, this is where you see some divergence. The value within the binary numeral system goes from 0, 1 to 1, 0, which is 2 to the power 0 is multiplied by 0, which is 0, and 2 to the power 1 multiplied by 1, which is 2. Again, all of this is laid out visually within the transcript, so feel free to check out. We have a full conversion table and a couple of links and resources for understanding this better and more clearly within the transcript. So feel free to check out those tutorials. Feel free to check out the conversion value table to know and understand how these map. But in summary, I hope this episode helps you understand how your conversion values are mapped in SKAdNetwork and how they're mapped in the binary system, not just a decimal system, not from 0 to 63, but 00 to 111111. And I hope this offers some clarity. Thank you.
For more tips, pointers, and strategies from the leading edge of mobile user acquisition, subscribe to our YouTube channel right here, or check out our blog, rocketship.hq.com/blog.